story of Ulf and Siggie, twin children who live in the faraway country of Austria, in Europe. They've started school and were given their first homework assignment. They have to learn as much as they can about the United States of America. That's where you live.
Luckily, Ulf and Siggie know about the library, where they found a book about the United States of America.
So Ulf, check this out. It's a book that teaches you about all of the states in the United States. It teaches you about big important cities in each state called capitals.
I know, Siggie. I'm actually smarter than you think I am, and I can read.
Well, that's your opinion, and you're welcome to it. Anyway, the cool thing about this book is that there are friends in the book who will take us on a journey through different parts of the United States.
Yes, it's true. There's Willie, who lives in the West, and there's Susie, who lives in the South.
Yeah, and there's Normie from the North, and Mickey from the Midwest.
And finally, Ellie from the East.
Ulf and Siggie were so excited to learn about the United States that they decided to go to visit their American relatives, Auntie Ellen and Uncle Ken.
Ulf and Siggie traveled all the way across the Atlantic Ocean from Europe to the United States.
We are Auntie Ellen
And Uncle Ken.
and we're Ulf and Siggie's American hosts. We'll be taking care of Ulf and Siggie while they're here, as well as disciplining them when they need it.
So let's join Ulf and Siggie as they join their new friends from the book and learn all about the United States. Hi, Ulf. Hi, Siggie. Welcome to the United States.
Thank you.
So how can we help you?
Well, our teacher said that we have to write poems about the United States and each individual state.
That sounds like fun. We'll tell you all about the people and the towns.
Don't forget the crops, mountains, rivers, products, state birds, flowers.
And all sorts of interesting facts, and the coolest thing of all, we're going to introduce you to a friend of ours in each state, and that friend has the same name as the capital of that state. Like my friend Austin in Texas.
Or my friend Helena in Montana. I have a great idea for the first poem.
Yeah, what is it?
And here is Ulf's introductory poem. Exploring Ellie and Wandering Willie travel to places both warm and chilly. For Normie and Susie, there's water and sand, while Meandering Mickey tours the heartland. The 5 boys and girls visit friends and mates named after the capital of each of the states.
All right. And how many states are in the United States?
There's 50.
Very good.
Well, Ulf, I enjoyed our visit to the northern United States. You know, the Great Lakes, the Northern Plains, the Upper Mississippi Valley, etc. And Normie was nice, but a bit oversensitive. I thought I'd like my men to be sensitive, but you know, there's a fine line between sensitive and oversensitive.
Anyway, today we're going to be traveling a little bit to the south from the last show to the Midwestern states. Today our tour guide's Meandering Mickey. He's going to show us the Ohio Valley, the Middle Mississippi Valley, and the Central Plains states too.
Yeah, we won't be seeing quite as much water as before, you know, the Atlantic Ocean in the east, the Pacific in the west, and the Great Lakes in the north. But there are still lots of great rivers, as well as the usual, you know, interesting crops and animals, some other really cool sights that I'm sure that Mickey will show us.
Hello, Mickey. Hi, Ulf and Siggie. Good to see you, and welcome to my home in the Midwest United States. Now, we can divide the Midwest up a little bit. First of all, you have the states around the Ohio River. Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and of course, Ohio. Now, this is right to the south of the Great Lakes from the last show. Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri are on the Mississippi River, just like Minnesota and Wisconsin from your last show. And just like North and South Dakota are part of the Great Plains, so are the great states of Nebraska and Kansas.
That's great.
Thanks. Hey, were you making fun of me?
As a matter of fact, Siggie always...
Anyways, here is my poem.
Meandering through the Midwest with Mickey. Siggie's poem. In the Ohio Valley, Mickey starts his day. Then toward the Central Plains, he slowly makes his way. He passes Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. Nebraska and Kansas will finish up his journey.
Good poem, Siggie.
Don't you mean great?
Shh, be nice, Siggie.
Yes, Siggie, be nice to the tour guides if you want their help.
Fine. Anyway, if we're going to get an A in this geography project, we'll really need all the help that we can get. Oh, Mickey's here. He's back. Hello.
Welcome to Ohio. Hey, are you ready to meet my friend Columbus? He's named after the capital city of Ohio. Columbus, this is Ulf and Siggie.
Hi guys, welcome to the Buckeye State.
Hey, why is Ohio called the Buckeye State?
Well, our state tree is called the Buckeye, and by the way, like a lot of other states that you'll be learning about, our state bird is the cardinal.
These are really cool birds. Any other interesting animals in Ohio?
Well, we raise cattle and hogs here as part of our economy. Plus, we grow tomatoes, soybeans, and corn, and also eggs and poultry.
And there's lots of well-known cities and towns in Ohio besides Columbus, like Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Don't forget Dayton, Toledo, Lorain, Zanesville, and others.
Zanesville, I like that name. Hey, I think I've got a poem.
Ulf's poem about Ohio. Columbus takes a walk on the green rolling plain, past the town of Zanesville and north toward Lorain. He heads back down to Dayton, then up near Toledo. Before he knows what's happening, he's seen all of Ohio.
Nice poem, Ulf.
Thanks.
Though mine was a bit better.
Siggie.
Siggie, we don't want to have to reprimand you again.
Fine. I'm just trying to be honest. Guess I'll just have to lie then.
Guys, I'd like you to meet our next host. In case you hadn't noticed, we've already moved on to the next state, Kentucky, with its capital of Frankfort. Hello, Frank.
Hi guys, welcome to my Kentucky farm. And even though I'm from Frankfort, our farm's on the outskirts of the town of Lexington.
What do you have on your farm, Frank?
Well, we grow a lot of stuff, just like in Ohio. We got cattle, hogs, corn, soybeans. But Kentucky's also pretty famous for our horses.
Yeah, like in the famous horse race, the Kentucky Derby.
Exactly, Siggie. My farm keeps me busy, but when I have time, I like to go out and visit my uncle out in the west. He's a coal miner. On the way, I visit one of my favorite towns, Bowling Green.
Hey, I noticed a lot of cardinals, Frank. Are they the state bird in Kentucky also?
Yup, and our state tree is the yellow poplar. And one of the most common types of grass in Kentucky is known as bluegrass. So we're called the Bluegrass State.
Hey, Frank, is that why Kentucky looks blue in your poster there?
Ulf, it's just a drawing.
Siggie's poem. Frankfurt lives in Lexington with horses in a barn. He raises hogs and grows tall corn on a little farm. When the pigs have all been fed and stables have been cleaned, he takes a break and heads out west to visit Bowling Green.
Excellent poem, Siggie. We sure learned a lot about Kentucky.
And now we're in a really cool state, Indiana. I know the capital. It sounds just like the state, Indianapolis.
Yep, that's right. Hey, and here's my friend, Indianapolis himself.
Call me Indy. You look like you're ready for a car race. Well, I am. Each spring, we hold the world-famous Indianapolis 500 car race. It's awesome!
Wow, a horse race in Kentucky and a car race in Indiana.
Why are you guys in the Midwest always in such a hurry? Well, speaking just for me, I like to cruise around the state visiting all the cool towns like Gary and Fort Wayne and Evansville. Check out Indiana's highest elevated point, Hoosier Hill. Incidentally, we're also called the Hoosier State, and visit all our farms. What do you guys raise for crops and also livestock? Cattle, hogs, eggs, corn, soybeans, you name it. And we're also mining for coal in other parts of the state, lots of the time. I'm sure you've heard this before.
Yes, from many of the other states.
Our state tree is the yellow poplar and our state bird is the cardinal. The cardinal, huh? Well, we've heard that before, too.
Hey, listen to my great idea for a poem for our project.
Ulf's poem about Indiana. Indianapolis drove quite fast and headed to Fort Wayne, while cruising past the northern dunes and central rolling plain. He took in all the scenes when he stopped at Hoosier Hill. He traveled up to Gary and then down to Evansville.
Nice job, Ulf. Hey, that visit to Indiana was fun.
Yes, the visit sure sped by. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, let's race over to the next state.
We're here. And this is my friend Springfield. Hey, what's wrong, Springfield? You look kind of glum.
My gosh, I just have so much work to do around here. I've got all my crops like soybeans and wheat and corn. Plus I have all my livestock to feed, my hogs and cattle. I sure am busy on my farm, so I hardly have any time to do my favorite activity, which is traveling.
Where do you like to go?
Well, let's see. My farm's really close to the highest point in Illinois, which is called Charles Mound. It's got a great view. Let's see. There's the University of Illinois down in Champaign, but my favorite trip is to the biggest city in Illinois, and one of the biggest cities in the whole United States, Chicago.
Chicago! I want to visit there. What other interesting things can you teach us about Illinois, Springfield?
Well, let's see. We call ourselves the land of Lincoln because President Abraham Lincoln lived here. Well, when he wasn't in Washington, D.C. anyway. Let's see. Our state tree is the white oak, and our state bird is
The
cardinal. Hey, how did you guys know that?
Siggie's poem. Springfield raised some cattle on his farm nearby Charles Mound. He planted wheat and soybeans on very fertile ground. He'd visit big cities like Chicago and Champaign, then walk on open hills, the prairies, and the plains.
My name is Precious and I live in Lowell, Massachusetts.
And what's the capital of Illinois?
Springfield,
What is the largest city in Illinois?
Chicago.
Nice poem, Siggie. And now I'm really excited to cross the Mississippi River to go to the next state, Missouri.
Wait a second, didn't we already cross the Mississippi?
Well, yes, you did. You crossed over from Minnesota to Wisconsin with Normie on the last show. We also crossed over the Ohio River, a tributary to the Mississippi River, when we went from Kentucky to Indiana a little while ago. But anyway, now we're in St. Louis, Missouri, home of the famous Gateway Arch.
Cool!
Hi, Mickey.
Oh, hi, Jefferson. Hey, these are my friends Open Siggie that I told you about. Hey, how was your trip from Jefferson City?
Well, not too bad. I mean, it's not like I had to come all the way from St. Joseph or Joplin. Like a lot of state capitals, Jefferson City is right in the center of Missouri, not far from the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks.
Lake of the Ozarks. Sounds pretty neat. Can you show me?
Huh, it's so funny that you say that, since Missouri is called the Show Me State.
Oh, well, can you show me or not?
Siggie, be nice. I can. While we go, I'll also show you some of our many crops and livestock. Just like many of the Midwestern and Western states that you've been to, we have soybeans, corn, cattle, hogs, and poultry. Oh, there's a flowering dogwood. That's our state tree. And our state bird is the...
I know, the cardinal.
Actually, it's the bluebird.
Well, you certainly showed me.
Maybe we should move on. We still have a lot of states to see.
Good idea. Hey, but first, here's my poem about Missouri.
Ulf's poem about Missouri. To St. Louis, Missouri, Jefferson liked to march, so he could admire the lovely Gateway Arch. He traveled to St. Joseph and Joplin far out west, but the Lake of the Ozarks is what he loved the best.
Well, what do you think of my poem, Siggie?
Yeah, it was fine. I'm just still a little annoyed at that guy Jefferson. You know, I mean, like he thinks he's so great just because he's named after a capital city.
Anyway, now we've moved up a little bit to the north, to the state of Iowa, the Hawkeye State, with its capital of Des Moines. My good friend Miss Des Moines will be giving us a tour. She's a little energetic.
Miss Des Moines?
Yeah, finally a girl tour guide. No offense, Mickey. Hi, guys.
Oh, hi, Miss Des Moines. Hey, are you up to a lot of exciting stuff as usual?
Oh, yes! I've been visiting all of Iowa's great towns. Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, all the cool eastern towns, plus Ames, Council Bluffs, and my favorite, Sioux City. It's home to the oldest popcorn company in the U.S. As you probably know, in Iowa we grow lots of corn and oats and soybeans, plus we raise cattle and hogs. The oak tree is our state tree, and oh, hey Mickey, who are your friends?
Oh, these are Ulf and Siggie, visiting from Austria. They're learning all about the United States.
Austria? Neat! Okay, well I'll quiz you. What is the state bird of Iowa?
We have no idea.
Close, the eastern goldfinch. Beautiful birds. Anyway, I gotta go now, guys. Nice to meet you and good seeing you, Mickey.
After meeting her, I feel exhausted. Anyway, it's your turn for the poem, Siggie.
Well, at least she wasn't as grumpy as Springfield or as arrogant as Jefferson. Okay, here it is.
Siggie's poem. Little Miss Des Moines finds quite a lot to do in the towns of Davenport, Ames, and Waterloo. She buys oats in Cedar Rapids, pops corn in Sioux City, and the trip down to Council Bluffs makes her feel giddy.
Well, Mickey, I can see that we've moved westward, back over the Mississippi River, and now we're obviously back in the Great Plains.
That's right, Siggie. We're in Nebraska.
Wow, look at all of these cornfields.
It's the Cornhusker State. Nebraska's capital is Lincoln. Speaking of which, here is my friend Lincoln. Hi, Lincoln. Hey, looks like you've got a bunch of wheat with you today. Doing some more deliveries?
You know it, Mickey. I deliver corn on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, wheat on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and soybeans on Thursdays.
So where are you heading now?
Well, my biggest wheat customers are in Fremont in the east and Scotts Bluff way out west. My main corn deliveries are in Kearney and Lincoln. For soybeans, I mostly end up in Omaha, so to answer your question, I'm heading out to Scotts Bluff. I sure do have a lot of miles on my delivery truck, but it's been worth it financially.
Financially? As in money? So you do well, huh? You need a partner, or perhaps a crop manager? Maybe someone to be in charge of public relations? I'd only ask for, let's see, 50% of the profits.
Siggie, we're here to do our school project and bring it back to Austria.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, can you tell us some more about Nebraska, Lincoln?
Sure, Ulf. Nebraska was the 37th state admitted to the Union. Besides crops, we also have cattle and hogs as resources. Our state flower is the goldenrod, our state tree is the cottonwood, and our state bird is the western meadowlark.
Thanks. Hey, everybody, how does this sound from a poem?
Ulf's poem about Nebraska. Lincoln carried corn from Fremont down to Kearney. He then picked up some wheat and continued on his journey. All the way to Scottsbluff, his goods he would deliver. Then he'd go to Omaha along the flowing river.
Nice poem, Ulf. I still think that I could have been a very good crop manager. Let's see, $1 for every one of those ears of corn.
Well, Siggie, you'll have another chance in our next state. Actually, it's our last state in my Midwest tour. It's Kansas, just to the south of Nebraska.
Kansas, as in tornadoes and wicked witches?
Well, it's got a little bit more than that. Like my best friend Topeka. Hi, Topeka. Hey, are those flowers for me? You shouldn't have.
Well, they are for you. But if I'd known that you were going to have a cute friend with you, I would have brought him flowers too. What's your name?
Cute? Ulf?
Yes, my name is Ulf, and this is my sister Siggie. What kinds of flowers are those?
Sunflowers. Did you know that the highest point in Kansas is called Mount Sunflower? As you can probably tell from how flat Kansas is, Mount Sunflower is not that high compared to, say, the Rocky Mountains.
So you like picking flowers, huh? Say, do you by chance need a manager?
Oh, I bet you met Lincoln in Nebraska. He's always thinking business. Not me. I like to relax. Lincoln picks wheat. I pick flowers. Lincoln delivers corn. I eat it.
So do you know a lot about Kansas?
That's like the only thing that Lincoln and I have in common. We're both very proud of our state. In Kansas, we also grow lots of crops, as you've seen. And like many other states, we have livestock like hogs and cattle. And we have cool towns and cities like Wichita, Overland Park, and of course Topeka.
So what's the state bird and state tree of Kansas?
The state bird is the western meadowlark, and the state tree is the cottonwood.
Hey Siggie, would you mind if I do 2 poems in a row?
Oh, fine. Impressed Topeka. I personally don't think that girl is going to make it in business.
Siggie's poem about Kansas. In the center of Kansas, Topeka picks flowers. She then goes to Wichita, passing the hours. She loves to eat corn in Overland Park and climbs Mount Sunflower well after dark.
What is the capital of Kentucky?
Frankfurt.
Well, looks like we're out of time for today.
See you guys next time.